Grasmere is a village and a tourist destination in Cumbria, England, in the centre of the Lake District National Park. A Honeypot Site is a location attracting throngs of tourists who, due to their numbers, place pressure on the environment and local people. Grasmere is a Honeypot Site. Thousands of visitors are drawn to Grasmere each year to enjoy the unique shops and cafes and stunning walks that can be found in breathtaking scenery. It was described by its most famous resident, the poet William Wordsworth, as the loveliest spot that man hath ever found. Wordsworth arrived in Grasmere in 1799, aged 29, largely unknown and writing innovative poetry in a new style. His work is now famous around the world, and visitors are drawn to his home, Dove Cottage, where he wrote many of his greatest poems. Rural tourism encourages the public to enjoy the countryside. It is a thriving industry in the UK, due largely to its 15 national parks, including the Lake District. The Lake District is famous for its lakes, forests, mountains and fells. There are many wonderful walks around Grasmere, and it is a great base to explore other parts of the lakes. Roads around the village are extremely busy, especially in the summer. Bypasses take traffic away from the very centre of the village, but the narrow valleys mean vehicles must still run close by to the attractions. Parking for so many visitors is a big problem, and large car parks have been created to cater for the high number of guests. Toilet facilities are also provided with a small charge. Parking restrictions are in place in most other parts of the village, and one-way systems are employed on some of the narrow lanes. Whilst motorboats are allowed on several of the lakes in the Lake District, they are banned from Grasmere, the adjacent lake after which the village is named. As a result, pollution levels are minimised, and the lake is popular for swimming and kayaking. In the summer, it is possible to hire rowing boats on the lake too. Footpath erosion caused by so many visitors has led to many paths being covered in hard surfaces to reduce the impact. Agriculture is characterised by sheep and beef production. The Lake District is famous for its native Herdwick sheep, and the Herdwick Breeders Association has secured protected designation of origin status for Lakeland Herdwicks. Tourism provides jobs and brings in revenue into the local area, but can also create issues such as pollution and damage to natural landscapes. Farming has a special place in the Lake District. It is at the heart of its communities, a core part of the economy, and has shaped the landscape over centuries that millions of people love to visit every year. Upland hill farming is one of the key activities which has contributed so much to the Lake District we see today. However, farming in the Lake District presents its own unique combination of challenges. The issues include an ageing farming population, land ownership and tenancy changes, the changing nature of farming subsidies, and the influence of the National Park Authority, in addition to the problems caused by working alongside large influxes of visitors. Local shops cater for the needs of high numbers of tourists, but there are complaints that the needs of locals are not being met. There are a high number of galleries and cafes, but a much smaller choice of everyday goods that the villagers need. On the other hand, the visitors help to maintain some shops and services that would be otherwise lost. A lack of affordable housing for local people is an acute issue, with many of the properties having been converted into holiday lets. The National Park Authority is responsible for planning and is trying to make sure new buildings or conversions are of a type needed by people who live and work locally. Low wage levels of some occupations lead to a gap between local incomes and house prices. There is a high proportion of second home ownership and an increase in commuter homes and retirement homes. Shortages of land available for development and the high price of building land are the issues. But it is possible to use occupancy restrictions which mean that only people who meet certain criteria can live in a particular house. Legal agreements, known as Section 106s, make sure that houses remain affordable, not just for the first occupant, but for future residents too, or in perpetuity. Grasmere is a beautiful working village, and it is obvious why so many people love the village and its surroundings. But it is clearly a difficult task to manage this honeypot site to meet the needs of both locals and high numbers of tourists who wish to visit.